However, what will the future of the city be, as far as humans are concerned? I'll start. I'm going to describe 4 different experiments, and we'll see how the progression goes between them. The first of them, I'm going to go back to 1998, and it's looking at radio frequency identification. In 1990s, very eminent scientists such as Ray Kurzweil were suggesting that in the future we won't have keys for our cars and we won't have passports. What we'll have is a little implant under the skin that identifies us to the computer. So if we go from one country to another, we just walk through. But nobody had actually tried it until I did in 1998. This is me, my doctor, my general practitioner, and what he was doing was putting in my left arm. This is the radio frequency identification device is on the right. On the left is the typical salary of a professor in the UK at the moment. So on the right was implanted, and with that in place, when I walked around my building, the computer in my building knew where I was at different points, and it opened doors for me and switched on lights and even said hello. At the time, some people said, "What did you do that for? Nobody's going to want to do that." Well, now all sorts of people have implants like this. As one example, in 2004, in the United States, the Food and Drug Administration okayed these implants for use in people with diabetes and epilepsy. So they have an implant with information on it as to what medication they need. So when they go into hospital, the hospital gives them the medication. You can change the program in there, so you can change the information and update it. It becomes effectively, in a small way, a medical record. And now the device, as Ray was talking about, it becomes much smaller, more powerful, and now they're about the size of a grain of rice, and just as useful. But all it did, this particular device, was identify me to the computer. But it sets the scene for subsequent experiments that I'm going to describe. Really what I'm looking at is something more. This connection between biology and technology to upgrade, to enhance. And just to get into the next experiment, it's really raising the question as to what is a robot. And I think the one question before, at the end of Ray Kurzweil's talk, was, are robots going to become more intelligent than humans? Will they take over the world? Well, it probably depends what we mean when we say robot. Because when you think of a robot, maybe you're thinking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, or in a film, of course. As a politician, well, of course, politicians are not robots. Or maybe you're thinking of a robot arm on a production line, but it's controlled by a computer, by a microprocessor, or even a robot that is remote controlled by a human that goes into dangerous areas. Well, they're not all like that. As we'll see in a second, there's a very fuzzy area. Now I'm just going to show a video just to show you some of our robots, just to get you into the spirit of it. The first robot is a robot head called Warwick, and we're investigating the different senses that Warwick has. The other robots, which are the more important ones for this particular talk, are little wheeled robots. Now, I hope the sound is going to work on this. Those of you that were here earlier know we're having a few sound problems, but stick with it. This is actually taken from a BBC programme called Inventions That Change the World.
One of the AI community's leading lights is Professor Kevin Warwick.
Well, this is a robot head.
Dissatisfied with vacuum cleaners and robot dogs, Kevin's gone one stage further. His cyborg comes complete with
radar in its nose and an infrared top lip.
Is it intelligent?
Well, in a very limited do I move? How do I operate if this signal is different?
So what's it doing now?
Well, if you clap your hands,
Oh wait, over here. Oh, it did it.
it's making basic decisions. All we've got it doing here is programmed to make basic decisions based on that sensory information that's coming in.
Getting the information in is nothing. That's like picking up a book. That's not an intelligent thing to do. Reading the book and knowing what the words mean, that's surely the intelligence.
Many machines can read books nowadays, but it means something different electronically to the machine as it would mean to a human.
Though the cyborg head does a reasonable job of sensing, it can't really interact with or explore its surroundings. It's fastened to its robot arm. And according to Kevin, it's only as intelligent as a dishwasher. If that's a dishwasher,
Yes.
where are these in terms of, are they dolphins, chimps?
I think you'd have to say it's about the 50 to 100 brain cell area. So realistically, you're talking slugs and snails.
But a slug and a snail, they know to eat. They know. These things don't.
They have some innate abilities.
There's no self-preservation with that.
Well, we do have the power supply. They don't have their own batteries. They each have power they're picking up from the floor here. That's where they're getting their energy. That's where they're getting their food.
But if you turned off this section of the floor,
If we turn off this
what was
section,
here?
they have a basic instinct to go and look for some power somewhere
They
else.
do
They
have
will
that.
keep going to do that until they find something.
so if I put him down,
It should go off.
so he'll have to go and look for power.
Yeah.
You're going to tell him to do that.
No, it's an innate response for that robot. It's a basic thing on its life. Yeah.
No, his lights have come back on.
Nice to come out.
So he's found
I'm
power.
happy now that it's getting power. Away to go.
But these then are as intelligent as slugs.
It's different, but in terms of numbers of brain cells and that sort of thing, yeah, we have slugs. Probably you could say we're up to bees and wasps, the sort of tens of thousands of brain cells. Is about as good as you can get. Yeah.
Bees and wasps.
Yeah.
Right.
There we go. I think if you went to the actual quote that didn't appear on the TV but is on Wikipedia, and that is that our robots have about 50 to 100 brain cells, which is about the same as a slug or a snail or a Manchester United supporter.